You the secrets to all my strength.
Let's go get him.
Nux. Can I call you Nux?
No.
The flames of the...
Yeah, this show is on the wrong side of a 5 out of 10. But let me say, as I do in most of my reviews, I actually don't hate Knuckles. I ranked it pretty high my first viewing because I love these characters. I love this world. But after seeing it again and again, that's when my rating dipped. Knuckles, in my opinion, is the worst project the Sonic movie franchise has released, unless you count this monstrosity as a project. And I want to go over what makes Knuckles fundamentally bad and my review of each episode. Before we get to our warrior quest, okay, I'll stop. Before we get back to the video though, I do have a couple natural channel announcements I want to make and just channel updates, things I want to say. So if you're only here for the Knuckles portion of the video, I should be putting a timestamp up on screen before the review begins. And it also should be in the channel chapters. But yeah, really quickly, I just want to thank you guys so much for sticking with me throughout all the thick and thin. We finally finished Season 3 of Sonic Tales My Own plush series. If you've not checked it out, please go and check it out. I believe you guys will all like it. We have finished Season 3. We're on to Season 4. I'm not going to give a date or an announcement of when that is yet. You should stay tuned for more videos and an upcoming Q&A soon for me and the crew, and you'll get to hear their voices and their thoughts behind it all. But yeah, I just want to say thank you guys so much. We're on the way to 1,000 subscribers. I also want to get to that mark pretty quickly because I want videos like this to be kind of a mix of both face cam and whatever the video you would call that, I guess video. I feel like that'd be really fun, but we can't get to it without you guys. We're at the current moment I'm recording this, we're 29 away. Hopefully we're less away by the time this video comes out, but I'm so excited to get to that part, and again, beyond thankful for you guys sticking with me. As now, I plan to record and upload more often, like how I used to when I first got into YouTube, but yeah, it's just been a minute since I've been able to say anything, and I wanted to use this time really quickly to tell you guys just, again, I can't say it enough, thank you. I'm back now, so hopefully a video every week or every other week is what I'm trying to do. Alongside with the series, it's not going to just be an episode a month, it'll be hopefully an episode every 2 weeks. So yeah, some good things to look forward to. With that being said, make sure you drop a like on this video because that's going to be super important to the algorithm and keeping my channel afloat and getting it up there and out to more people. Now, what makes Knuckles fundamentally bad? Okay, the simple way to put it would be, I'm sure you've heard this before, but Knuckles isn't very prominent in his own show. And it's pretty bothersome for most. The main problem with this is that, you know, it's named Knuckles, so, you know, maybe he should have the most screen time in his own show? Just a thought, just a thought. I genuinely think the show would have done better if it was called Knuckles and Wade, because you're already putting a note in people's heads that Wade can be on screen more because his name is in the title. But speaking of Wade, I don't want people to get it wrong. He is not the problem of the show. Even him showing up more than appreciated isn't a problem. Adam Pally, or is it Paley? I have no idea. Adam Pally kills it as Wade, being a goofy adult man who really is a child. It's more so Wade's family that does it for me and others. Okay, fine. You're not going to show Knuckles on screen a lot. Okay. The second best character you can put on screen, though, is Wade. We can all agree with that, right? But when Wanda Whipple and Mother Whipple are on screen, it's just... oh my goodness! I'm pretending this is a Sonic show already to not make it harder than it has to be. So not a lot of Knuckles in a show that already doesn't have a lot of Sonic characters. You make the only other interesting character interact with these horrific characters. So, you know, it doesn't really balance it out, and it makes Wade look a lot worse than he actually is, in my opinion. It just turns into a sloppy mess that gets people upset. And I mean, it's not what the people want. Yes, we're supporting the project, but we support it sometimes in hopes of change. Let's normalize that so we can stop slandering others, please. But I'm not gonna lie, that's where the Knuckles show goes wrong. There's not a lot of Knuckles, non-interesting characters take up way too much screen time, and they totally bomb the plot in my opinion. Like, okay, you can't tell me when they were with the agents and at the end of episode 1 and for most of episode 2 that was a lot of fun to watch. But when you go to a more subtle location where it's going to be mostly chatter, you would like well-made characters for that scene. But no, Instead, you get bad, annoying, and boring characters for the entire 22 minutes. Okay, review time. Episode 1 is the best episode. If you're one of those weirdos who says that episode 4 is the best episode, you're a joke, dude. Like, there's no way you actually like this. Unsubscribe from me right now. That was a joke, please stay. This is the only episode Jeff Fowler directs, and it shows through the interactions the most. Sonic and Maddie, Sonic and Tails, Knuckles and Maddie, it felt more in line with this world and their characters. And now you get the opening premise for the show. What is defined as home to someone who doesn't have a home? Echidnas are constantly going and don't necessarily settle anywhere. And Knuckles isn't looking to claim a specific spot at the beginning of the show. Okay, we're cooking something here that resonates well with Knuckles. I like it. I wasn't as big of a fan of the Chief Pachacamac thing as others were. I thought it was actually meh for his character because I thought they could have did something more grand. But I did love Christopher Lloyd's performance as Chief Pachacamac. He tells Knuckles to find Wade Whipple and continue the Echidna legacy and train him to be a warrior. That's the show's thing. You're going to hear warrior a lot. I give it 7.5 rings out of 10. Not bad. Can I say, man, these are some interesting long title names that don't flow. It's a nitpick, I know. But man, here's where the trajectory of it starts slipping bit by bit until it just plummets, in my opinion. Episode 2 was fine, but it starts to get you ready for less Knuckles and more Wade Whipple. Wade is on his way to get Knuckles, as Knuckles is captured for a good bit of the episode, as we see Wade do some shenanigans to get him out. Unfortunately, no fun Sonic montage music like, Knuckles' theme from Sonic the Fighters, and instead we get I Need a Hero. But the scene was pretty fun, with all being said. And I genuinely do think it's warming that Wade wants to make Knuckles proud and be a warrior. And that's something I really can't hate on. Knuckles and Wade's dynamic is good, even if it's more Wade focused. It's still done well, they have something to bond over, they have a goal to reach together, and when conflict comes, they have each other to lean on. The agents are actually really fun characters, even though they're not gun agents. Just the fact that they're part of the Sonic universe that makes sense, those are the acceptable type human characters. So Wade gets Knuckles out by throwing those Knuckles fist replica gauntlet things. They hit the ET and go to a restaurant. Wade and Knuckles' interaction was good, noting that to get out of a situation with a win is what matters the most, not how it happened. Not an ideal episode because Knuckles was stuck in a box most of it, but honestly, it was solid. 6.5 rings out of 10. Yeah, I don't like this one. Now's a good time to say this because, okay. One problem nobody should complain about is Knuckles himself. He stays consistent throughout any situation, and it's fantastic. He genuinely is done well, and I also have to say his animation is beautiful. You can tell throughout the series they wanted to give him the most money, which was good, but he's not on screen that much, but okay. And this episode is a great example of him being consistent, because the Wade family is downright horrid. Oh my god! So the Whipples, obviously you got Wade, you got Mother Whipple, and Wanda. She's Wanda. Okay. First, let's talk about the mother. As someone who read stories, I can tell what they were trying to do with Mother Whipple, and I think it failed. She just comes off pretty generic in my opinion, and what they were doing with all of the Jewish stuff, cool, but they ended up making some jokes that I just, for Sonic and for that specific character, I would not have used that joke. Anyways, Wanda Whipple is much different, and she's obviously much worse than Mother Whipple, and we all hate her. I think she takes the cake for the worst Sonic character. There's just no good characters for Knuckles to really bounce off in this series, and it sucks, because he's around these type of characters the most. So, you would like to see better, but it really sucks. It just does. There are a couple good fight scenes in this episode, actually, that I enjoyed. But outside of it, it's kind of a rough watch, I'm not gonna lie. I give this episode 4.5 rings out of 10. Gosh. I don't know what to start with. fact that they made this an episode, or the fact that some people in the community think this is the best? I guess I'll start with the community. You're a psychopath if you genuinely, and I mean genuinely, say that episode 4 is the best episode of this 6-episode series. There's no way that you can say that with a straight face just because there's lore that isn't accurate lore, which again, it doesn't have to be accurate, but you know, it's lore. There's Iblis, there's Knuckles' backstory. I do not care. It's a play that's boring. I was watching this episode. I came home, I was ready, I was sitting in my bed. I was a little tired. I maybe got through 10 minutes of the episode and I fell right to sleep. I had watched episode 3 beforehand, so I was alright. And then I was on 4, I got me some popcorn, fell asleep. This episode is genuinely terrible, and no shame to the guy who directed it. I heard he's going to be in Sonic the Hedgehog 3, and again, just no shame at all, because I have no idea about plays. I assume it's good, it looked good to me, but I'm not the guy to ask. But for a Sonic series of a Sonic episode that doesn't have Sonic in it, I'm a super fan, but still, I'm sorry. That was pretty boring, and I didn't need to know that Iblis used Facebook once. No lie, 2 rings out of 10. I hated that shit. It was mid, but comedy gold. The Knuckles and Wade AirPod thing when he was talking to his father, now that was pretty funny, because, ladies, Knuckles has a way with the words, apparently. Okay, calm down. We see the buyer make a deal with the agents to spare them. Wade forgives his dad after a couple of bowling rounds. How believable. And he's back to being a villain. This is just stupid, I'm sorry. I mean, if you're gonna go with the premise, okay, fine. I don't have a problem with going with different type of premises, but it happens so quickly. I mean, it's a 6-episode series. Maybe I'm just complaining. I don't know. I didn't like it. I thought it was stupid, but because it wasn't really done well, believable. The agents want Knuckles in exchange for Wade's parents' lives. And you know, Wade's dad's a businessman, so he kind of pins everyone up against each other. Wade's actually planning to do this, by the way. I mean, it's kind of believable at that point in the episode. I was actually like, dang, Wade's about to betray Knuckles. But I mean, the only thing I did not really like about it, though, was just how, it was connected by a phone and AirPods through, most of the end of this episode and into the beginning of the next episode. You'll see what I mean in a second. Though this episode is again pretty mid, the beginning and the end of it done really well. Round of applause for them. I give this episode I give it 5 rings out of 10. It was better than the Shabbat dinner in my opinion. And that was it. That was the final episode. That is just not how you conclude a mini-series. This episode is really just weird from a construction standpoint, to be honest. I mean, Wade's father is set up to be the villain. You've still got the agents, and you still got the buyer. You got all these people just kind of playing villain of the moment, almost. It's just weird. I like the beginning again because, Knuckles is in it and it's picking up where we were from last time. And here again is where I'm talking about the phones. It's connected all through AirPods. Knuckles kind of is just not there when the elevator comes up and then he falls from the ceiling or something like that. And, they didn't know because Knuckles was listening the entire time through an Apple AirPod. Who would have guessed? Is it a bad setup? Honestly, no, it's just weird with these characters. I don't know. I would have, if you're going to even go with that idea, I feel like there's a way to set it up. I mean, yeah, people just own those items, but just in that moment, that's such a crucial moment, that's the way they get out of it. I think not. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't know what happens to the agents. Did they die? They went through that ring portal, and I think it closed or smashed or something. I don't know. They're gone from the equation from this episode. Wade's father ends up losing the bowling tournament, and then the buyer shows up and plays villain for the 2-3 minutes he's on screen. And he wants Knuckles' power. He gets his power. It's just... I'm not even going to explain it. It's a replica of the end of the first Sonic movie. Again, cool callback. It just has no setup. Like, I don't care about the buyer. His name is the buyer. Like, what? Knuckles and Wade do this stupid high five at the end of the bowling tournament thing. It's just dumb. Like, I would have not ended it like that. But then there's this post-credit scene where they should have played Unknown Me. I do not care if it would not have made sense. Just say someone made a hit or just something Knuckles related. If Unknown Me couldn't like be featured because of the songwriter or whatever, but isn't it owned by Sega? Like, why would they play the theme song to this? Which honestly, actually, it's pretty catchy. I'm not gonna lie, but no. This is why the Mario movie made so much money. It did cater to fans. Even the stuff that would be considered alienated. Who cares? Like, seriously, at this point, who cares? You got so many people watching. They're not going to stop watching because you put a Sonic song in there. They're just not. This isn't what we wanted. I understand they probably didn't want some overarching story where it was difficult for people to follow along or something, you know, that would cost a lot of money. But let's be honest. This isn't what we wanted. I feel like if you enjoyed this show like I did at first, you came in with the right mindset from when they announced the synopsis for the show. Knuckles training Wade to be a warrior. That's exactly what happened. If you came with the idea that maybe they'd sneak in or throw in some big chunks of lore, or maybe some characters like Rouge or Amy, I'm sorry, but you set yourself up for failure. Outside of very well made fights, the animation for Knuckles, and well, Knuckles the character himself, I have to ask, was this show even necessary? Like, we say that for other pieces of Sonic media, but what about this? In my eyes, no. Because yeah, you get some extra cash from the viewership because good or bad, we're gonna come together and watch this. But unless they're setting up Wade to be a bigger character in movie 3, which if he does, this franchise needs to end after 3 because I refuse to watch him play Warrior in the 3rd movie where Maria's also gonna get shot. Or another spin-off series where Randall or the Olive Garden cop dude is going out to a hockey rink with Shadow. Hell no. After my first viewing, I was a huge fan of Knuckles because I just loved Knuckles. I gave it an 8. But after watching plenty times again, it went down. I'll be nice and give it 0.5 more than what I wanted to give it, but my rating has dipped from an 8 to a 4. I've seen Sonic fans give a lot of crap to YouTubers who say, we need better, and I truly don't get it. We aren't complaining as much as we're necessarily saying that we want justice to these characters like they've been doing. So keep doing it. Expand this world, add characters, and if you have to do it in a different animation style, do it. We're giving you the green light as fans. If it's what we want and they want us to keep watching, they best make at least some adjustments. That's just how business works for both parties. Now I give it off to you. What did you think of Knuckles? Would you want a season 2? Was it necessary? Let me know in the comments below. I love your feedback and I'll respond to every single comment. With that being said now, I've been waiting to say this for a long time. I love you guys. Wear your socks. Peace.